Well, good morning. You know, when I left the astronaut corps about 10 years ago, I knew I would never fly in space again, and I was fine with that. I was moving on to a different phase in my life, and yet hasn't it been interesting to see how the new space industry has begun to take off and develop. And I was very, very fortunate. About 6 years ago, got connected with X-Corps, and I realized that these guys have the right stuff. They have the foundation, the culture, the technical ability, the drive, and the vision to actually make it possible for me to go back to space again. And in fact, I tell my wife now, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And it's so exciting for me to continue to work with them, both for events like this exciting, visionary view of what Lynx is going to do, but also on that nuts and bolts technical. As a test pilot, I've flown 2 of their rocket-powered vehicles now. We just came off a very, very successful 40-flight test program on a rocket-powered aircraft that we learned so much from. And I can't wait to take the lessons learned from that into the Lynx flight test program. And I tell you, it is so gratifying, not only to fly to space, but to take people with you and have them experience that life-changing situation. A couple elements that I will mention, since I think so far I may be the only one in this room who's flown in space. We might have a surprise guest coming later. I don't know if he showed up or not. But I wanted to share with you just a little bit of what this is really all about. You know, for me, far and away, the visual impact is the best part of it. You know, weightlessness is fun, it's great, it's exciting. Kind of strokes your ego to be one of a relatively few number of people who've done that. But the first time you look out the window and see that you're above the atmosphere, you see that thin blue line of the atmosphere out on the horizon, you see the curvature of the Earth, that is virtually a spiritual experience, and it's one that I cannot wait to share over and over and over again with our clients, with our participants who go fly with us. Very excited about that. I look back on my experiences of flying in space, and all the preparation time before was great in and of itself. You know, going over, in the simulations and all the learning and the flying the shuttle trainer aircraft and everything that it took to get me to that level. And we're going to do, you might call a subset of that in the preparation of our participants to get them ready, that will all be headed up and led by rocket ship tours. We're going to leverage the experience. We're going to amplify it. We're going to make it so much more than this hour flight. It's going to be the whole set of experiences and interactions leading up to it, so they're really prepared, and it's going to make it better for them on a variety of levels, not only the fun that they get doing the different things beforehand in the preparation, but also in getting their minds sped up and ready to go so that during the experience they know what's coming, they expect it, and they can be on top of the step. Much like a test pilot prepares and prepares and prepares and chair flies, is what we call it, before going to fly, we will do that with our participants. So when we get in this vehicle and we strap them in and they're in this pressure suit and we tilt the nose straight up and we suck them back against the seat at 2.5 to 3 or more G's, they will sort of know what to expect and be very, very excited to enjoy the whole experience. So I think it's a great partnership that we've developed with Rocket Ship Tours. We'll do the technical work. We're going to continue to press forward in the same way that X-Corps has done their business in the 9 years of their existence. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it as safely as is possible. And we're going to continue to develop this so it is beyond the vision that we have here today and is reality in Pear and I Go Fly and then many, many more thousands afterwards. So thanks for the few minutes of your time, and I guess I'll turn it back over to Jules.
The whole audience, you were mentioning that you left the astronaut corps and like you retired, and then you're coming back as a commercial pilot. Did you have a change of heart, or was this a plan to?
Oh no. When I moved on from NASA, there were a variety of reasons why, but I closed that door and was glad to move on. I just did not anticipate in 1998 that there would be these kind of opportunities in the totally private sector.
Right.
To be very involved in technology development, right at the cutting edge of the stuff going on. I mean, I figured I'd be too old to do any of that when that all came along. So I'm very, very pleased that I was wrong with that.
Yeah. So is this kind of like a turn of events in your retirement as an astronaut?
Yeah, well, I didn't totally retire right from the start, but I looked for a variety of opportunities. I do a number of different things, and chance to be involved on, they needed someone with flight test expertise, and having been an astronaut too was another thing that they really needed. So we partnered up, and I've been working with them for 5 or 6 years now.
Fantastic. Do you see the training of astronauts ever moving out of the military into civilian, especially for the commercial?
Well, NASA's a civilian organization, by the way, and they really try to de-emphasize the military. Personally, I would have preferred if the Air Force operated the shuttle for my own thing, because I like the military organization and so forth. But I was a military officer within NASA, never wearing the uniform, applying civilian rules and everything. So, however, it is still a government operation.
Right.
And certainly, just like any commercial aviation operation, that training and stuff is conducted by the commercial entity, regulated by the FAA. That's what we'll do. We will determine what it really takes to fly these vehicles. That's the pilot and the participant, our guest clients, trained to the appropriate level, get the people with the right amount of experience for that, and do it on a commercial basis. Now, having said that, there's no question in my mind that the people with the right experience base to do this for the foreseeable future will be military test pilots with that background. So, you're doing something that's on the commercial side, but you've had all those prerequisites, if you will, from flying high-performance jets and test flying.
That's my question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a personal question. What's it like to actually be launched on a shuttle? I'm sure you've been asked this a few times. What are your personal feelings? What does it feel like to be launched into orbit?
Well, it's a dream come true. You know, it's like, but at the same time, prior to the launch, you go, oh well, this may be the last dream come true.
Sure.
And it's kind of like, okay, I don't really care so much if I die. I just don't want it to be my fault.
Yeah.
So at least for the pilots and commanders who have a lot to do, and their performance really matters, as opposed to someone down in the mid-deck who's just along for the ride during that phase of flight.
Yeah.
So you're very, very attuned to that. Make sure you do everything just right, stay on top of your procedures, and be totally prepared.
And you served on Mir, didn't you?
I didn't do an extended stay, but I was a pilot of a flight that docked with Mir. We spent 5 days docked, transferred a bunch of supplies, left an astronaut there, and came home.
That must be incredible.
Yeah. Just the delivery service.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with your endeavours with X-Corps, and pleasure to meet you.
One more question. Sorry. When you described going up into space as a spiritual experience, what kind of specific? What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, I'd say I'm a religious person to begin with, so I wouldn't say I came at any sort of epiphany that changed my religious outlook. It did, however, I think, amplify it, and in a more general sense, say this is a home. This planet is a home to 6 billion of us, that in spite of all the differences we have, which are profound, we all, 6 billion of us, have one thing in common. We're on this jewel out in the middle of space, and what a great gift it is. And I cannot fathom how that came about as an accident that it just came about by itself. So I very firmly believe in God and the Creator, and it reinforced that to me, to see how beautiful it is, how balanced it seemed to be to look at it. It's also a humbling experience to look at the planet down there, and you can see a space of land as big as China, and go, there's 1 billion people I'm looking at right now, and they don't know I'm looking at them, but I see where all of them live, and it kind of gives you just a different frame of reference.
Do you find that that experience you carry into your daily life now that you're, like, when you saw that and you experienced that, did it change?
I'd like to think so. Still came back and I was yelling at my kids within a few weeks after, and stuff like that. It's not been a daily sort of thing. But however, when I reflect on it, then I go, yeah, it really is a profound experience. It is a very rare experience, and it's pretty unique to it.
Thank you.
But we're working to change that. We want more people to have it.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
I'm definitely not in the crowd that wants to keep it kind of close hold and small, exclusive. I'd just soon have many, many more people.